Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2017 horror movie Night Howl. Now you look at that poster there. Doesn't that look a cool poster? I thought so. You would think after reviewing movies for quite some time and being a fan of movies all my life, I would have learnt by now to be drawn in by a cool poster. But I haven't learnt my lesson, and needless to say I was drawn into this movie by the poster and the premise of werewolf movies that, let's be honest, werewolf movies are cool if they're done right. This isn't done right. This is a very, very low budget, and let me emphasise that, very low budget. You and I could probably go out and make this movie with a couple of grand in his back pocket. It's probably arguably the lowest budget movie I've probably ever seen. So I'm going to try not to be too harsh on this movie, but it's unavoidably bad. So I can't lie about this movie. This movie is bad. One of the worst I've ever seen. Now, if this movie had been, made on a shoestring budget and, I don't know, released on YouTube for everyone to watch, or a student film or something, you probably think, okay, that's a good effort, not bad, give this guy a bigger budget, see what he can do. But this has been packaged as a movie and sold as a movie, and it's not on, I don't think, personally. But right, what is this movie about? Well, we have Kaci, who's an amateur photographer who witnessed a traumatic event when he was young. He witnessed his mum murdered by a canine creature, we'll say. This has psychologically scarred him, and in his adult life he has dreams and nightmares of werewolves. And then all of a sudden everybody that's has any contact with him in life, whether it be his friend, the lady on the reception where he lives, or his girlfriend sort of thing, they all start turning up missing or dead, or and he starts suspecting the worst as Kaci the photographer, and there may be something more sinister going on, right? And that's all I'm saying on the plot. Now, I can't really give this film both barrels, because if I do, it'll reveal spoilers on the film. So I can't really delve too far into the story. But needless to say, the story is shockingly bad, and it does not make sense. Where do I start with this movie? Okay. There's a couple of positives I want to get out of the way before I really give it both barrels, this movie. The central message it tries to give, if you can make it through to the end, the central message it's trying to give about mental health and things, it's kind of admirable. And this concept may have worked and might have been interesting with a bigger budget and with more talented crew. Other than that, nothing else in this movie works, I don't think. The effects are amongst the worst I've ever seen, but when you realise what's going on, it kind of makes sense. The acting is amongst the worst I think I've ever seen. There's a couple of psychiatrists, but there's one in particular in this movie that he keeps going to visit, who he has to be a psychiatrist because he's wearing a bow tie, and his office just looks like someone's front room. The coroner's office is a scene where he goes to visit the coroner's office to identify a body, and that looks suspiciously like the psychiatrist office. It was just like a front room, and this was a coroner's office. This sort of means so low budget. There's some moronic decisions take place in this movie, and again I can't really go into depth because it'll spoil it. The explanation given at the end is bizarre, but it does, like I say, it does kind of explain some of the shocking effects that you see in the movie. And the exposition scenes in this movie, again, are of the worst I've ever seen. There's a scene at the end where another psychiatrist turns up to explain to a character what's going on, because clearly we won't get it. So they feel like they had to put this extra scene in because none of it's made sense. How it's been written, filmed, directed, acted, it doesn't make sense. And there's a couple of scenes in this movie where you will literally, and I'm not kidding, laugh out loud. I mean, almost crying with laughter. There's a scene where he's being chased by his dead mother that, I'm not kidding, I almost choked on my drink at the time. It was that funny. It was it was so bad. And that's it. There you go, guys. I've got to tell you, this is just a really bad movie, this, guys, and I genuinely can't recommend that you see it. It's a 3 out of 10. It can't be anything more than a 3 out of 10, and the only reason it's getting a 3 out of 10 is because, like I say, it's an interesting concept that would have worked maybe with a better budget and more talent, and the central message is kind of admirable, I suppose. But there you go, Night Howl. There's a warning there for you guys. Do not be drawn in by cool posters, because I've had to suffer for you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.